In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the compound interest calculator. Now, again, what we're really trying to do here is not come up with a die-hard plan that you're going to have to stick to for life. We're just playing. We're just seeing what the numbers might be, and we're trying to imagine what our future might look like if we were able to hit certain numbers. That's it. Just playing with it and dreaming. So don't think that you're going to be held to anything like this. Feel free just to kind of play with it and think about what dates you might want to retire or how quickly you might want to pay off your debt, that kind of thing. So we're going to go through two different ways of using this tool. Number one, to figure out how to save for retirement. And then number two, we're going to look at how to pay off debt using this tool and how that might work. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to look at this and select our currency, which is dollars. We're going to set an initial balance, which I'm going to call 0, because what we're going to do first is look at how to do saving for retirement. Now, the interest rate that I choose for this is a huge variable, but over the last 100 years or so, the average return from the stock market, when I say the stock market, what I mean is the S&P 500 stock market index. Don't worry about any of that stuff, but in general, you can expect about 9% per year. Now, that's the past is no guarantee of the future. It might be much less than that. It might be much more. It will probably not be less than, say, 7% or 6% if you give it a long enough time period, over 20 years or 30 years. Any individual year could be down 30% or up 30%. But over, say, a 20-year span, you're always going to have some kind of positive return, and over a long enough span, it's going to average about 9%. So that's why I chose 9%, but again, you could move this up or down, and you should, play with that and see what it looks like. Yearly is just what I've chosen. That's typically how these are calculated. These plans are done for retirement. The number of years, it depends on your age. If you're 40 years old and want to retire at 70, then of course that would be 30 years. If you are 20 years old and want to retire at 60, then that would be 40 years. So, just however you want to do it, and you can play with that too. You can think like, well, once I get a number, what's that going to look like if I change the number of years? So the compounding interval, don't worry about that. And this is kind of the big factor to me. That is the part where we dream about, and it's how much can we put away monthly. So maybe instead of $100 a month, I can put $150 a month in there. And we'll go ahead, and you don't need to worry about when the deposits are made or the annual deposit rate. We'll click calculate, and that's going to tell me if I started saving at 20 and wanted to retire at 60 and put $150 a week in the market, at the end of that it would be $702,000. So the last thing I wanted to show you, there is like a full breakdown where you can see like every month exactly what's happening, the principal that you're saving from your total deposits, and then the amount of interest and compound interest, which is over here. So your total deposits is this one. So over that number of years, it would be $72,000. But then the interest is almost 10 times that. So if you want to see the pretty graph, you just click on graph, and it'll show you exactly what these numbers mean at each point. So this is pretty cool. And you can, of course, just come back up here and change it. We'll say maybe $200 is more what I need to retire by 60. And you can see that that extra $50 a month makes about a $200,000 difference in where we end. So that's how to use this for calculating your retirement, and we can change the number of years here. We'll say 45 years instead of 40 years and see what that does. And again, you can see just that 5 extra years. Wow, that made a huge difference. So time is really important. But let's take a look at how to use this tool for calculating how to get rid of debt. The way that you do that is really easy. You just put your debt here. We'll use the example I used in the class, $10,000 of debt, and your interest rate, a general, the APR on most of the credit cards that I've seen is about 14%. And we'll just see, the years here. I just put in something that that would give me an idea to actually figure out how long it would take you to pay the debt off. Is something that I think this tool doesn't actually do that well. But we're going to look at this and just say $200 a month at $10,000 at 14% interest rate for 10 years and see where that comes out. And again, we're just trying to kind of play with this and see what happens. So it would be, oops, I think I put, need to hit withdrawals instead of deposits there. And you can see from this chart that it gets totally paid off by year 4 at $200 a month. But if we were to say $100 a month, then it doesn't get paid off until year 8, something like that. So hopefully that gives you the info that you need to have a fun time with this tool. And if you have any questions, please post them in the chat on the forum.